What's up, everybody? How's it going? Super excited to have you guys join today. We're going to be building some automations live. And I'll go live at any point. Just go ahead and leave comments. We're going to be working through these automations together. But for the most part, these automations are going to be focused on smart lead. There's going to be clay automations. There's also going to be automations that leverage tons of different things, right? But more specifically for a lead gen agency and B2B sales teams. And so all of the automations we build can be found here. So afonto.com/automations. And in fact, most of the automations that I already have at the present moment have instructions. So like we've got these ones over here that have all of these different instructions over here. The ones that I'm going to be releasing today are going to be in the section over here called Danger Zone. And so Danger Zone simply means that there's no instructions. And so you guys would basically have to download the automations and then build them on your own. But obviously, we're going to be building them together. And some of the automations that we're going to be building are going to involve the Smart Lead dashboard. A lot of people have requested the Smart Lead dashboard, but there's a lot. Sorry, the ClickUp dashboard, but there's a lot that goes into it. Responding to emails directly from Slack. This is probably going to be the first one that we create. I'm going to be working on this one over here. Custom reports for clients. I'm going to be showing you guys how we can design the reports and then eventually send them to the clients. And then we're going to be tracking all of that stuff in this Google Doc over here. So I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to call it Building Automations Live. And so at any point, you guys have questions, you guys want to ask anything, you want to focus on a specific automation integration, just leave a comment and I can focus on that. So building automations live. The first automation that we're going to build is responding to emails from Slack. And more specifically, smart lead emails. Smart lead emails from Slack, and that's going to be this automation right here. And then the next one is creating custom weekly reports. Creating custom weekly reports for clients. And then we can also do another one, which is, what do you call it? Custom weekly reports, responding to emails, ClickUp dashboard, ClickUp Smart Lead dashboard. Leave a comment. start charging people. That's a funny comment. ClickUp Smart Lead Analytics dashboard. If you have any requests, just put those in here. And then we're going to create a HubSpot two-way sync, and more. So let's get started. I'm going to pull up my make.com account, and then we're going to start working on these automations over here. And by the way, this is not it. This is not the full list of everything we're building. We're going to be building a lot more than this. And the main reason why we're going to be able to build so many of them is because I mostly have all of them already done for my internal operations. And so all we're doing here is just replicating them for you guys to use, unless anyone has any ideas that we could leverage. Cool. So let's dive in. Let us create the responding to emails from Slack. So this is the first one. I've already created a video on that, but I'll do a quick demo for anyone who's not seen it, and then we will build it for you guys. So it's in the free automation section, and then it's Slack. Right, so reply to email threads using Slack. And we've got it's a 3-step automation. And by the way, how many operations do I spend? Not many. Not many. Honestly, not even like I'm on the $64 per month plan, but on average, I'm spending around 40K, so half than that. My usage resets on June 12th, so half than that. Um, and honestly, like for the amount that I'm automating, taking off my plate, it's totally worth it. And so this is the first automation. We're going to be honestly like just giving it like this because there's not much that needs adjustment in this automation. In like the ClickUp ones, the weekly reports, we're going to be doing adjustments and things like that. But for now, we're going to start here. Um, and by the way, I just thought about this. I should probably give you guys this automation. I should put it on the website so that you guys can work through this with me as we go. I think that's a good idea because the setup is simple. Yeah, let me actually do that. So let me confirm that it works right. So reverse chat history. We've got the chat history. We've got the iterator working. We've got this working. Good idea. Cool. I'll do that. I'll send you guys that markdown history and then AI analyzing this and then this, the format. Cool, cool, cool. All of this also looks good. 30-second delay. We're going to actually switch this to a 60-second delay because I know that it does give some errors when it's a 30-second delay. And then timestamp. That also looks good. That looks good. And this is good. We'll leave that in there. Okay, so this one's good. I'm gonna download it and then I'm gonna put it on the website and you guys can simply go there and download this blueprint. So this is going to be the first blueprint. And if I recall, I think all of these should be good. Actually, hold on a second. Let me do webhook. Yeah, I'm going to call this webhook. And then I'm going to call this as well webhook so that it's like you guys can just put your own thing. So webhook. And then we're going to re-download it and give it to you guys. Cool. And then this one, also download it. And then this one, send email to Smart Lead. You want to put your own API key there. All right. So API key, you want to put that there. And then not sent, you want to put the webhook over here as well. So these are the main things that you're going to change when you get these automations handed over to you. And then this is going to also be the API key that you're going to need to change. So API key. Cool. And so I'm going to download this. I'm going to put it on the website. You guys can go ahead and download it yourself. Okay, so we go over here. We go to the actual document where I come up with these things. And then where it's going to be is in the danger zone over here because there's no instructions for it, right? And so inside the danger zone, I'm going to add a folder. Okay, maybe I just do like duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate this. And then I'm going to put this inside over here. And then this is going to be respond to emails from Slack. And then I'm going to plop those automations in here. Okay, so file upload. And by the way, any automation ideas that you guys get that you want me to share or work on, like I have, how many is this? 63 plus 34. I have almost 100 automations inside here that I'm happy to share with everybody. So if you have any ideas of automations that you want me to share, just put that in the chat. I'll do that. So I'm just renaming those automations right now so that it's easy for you guys to know which one is which. And then I'll put that inside the document right here. So step 1. Actually, you know what? I'm going to rename them later. So blueprint 7 is the first one. Blueprint 8 is the next one, and then blueprint 9 is the last one. Is blueprint 9 going? Okay, there you go. So now if you guys go there, you could download these 3 automations. I'm gonna put it in the chat so that you guys know where to find the website. Cool. So this is the first batch of automations. Just go to afonto.com/automations in the danger zone section. And just to clarify for anyone who's unaware, these automations, like this one, for example, is done, but some of them are not going to be finished. So if you're going to download these, just like try to understand how make works so that you don't make any unnecessary changes. But there's this one right here. So respond to emails from Slack, download these 3 blueprints, and then we'll get started working on this right here. Cool. And so step 1 is basically going to leverage a webhook. And this webhook is going to be an email from Slack. And so, sorry, from Smart Lead. And so if we were to go to the Smart Lead section, we go to a webhook. One second. Okay, so we go to the webhook section over here. We add a brand new webhook. The webhook, we're going to give it a name. So this is just going to be called test status changed. Actually, you know what? The first thing you might want to add is a lead category, right? Because the reason why someone might use this automation responding to emails from Slack is because they're working with a team, right? And because you're working with a team, oftentimes you might need someone else's support to help you respond to those emails. And so the first thing you might want to have is a lead category such as too complex. And so if a lead category is updated to too complex, you send an email to Slack, and then everyone inside Slack is basically going to be able to respond to that. And you can obviously send this to your team. You can send this to your clients. You can do whatever you like. And so we've got too complex over here. We're going to create this lead category, and then we're going to create a webhook for that specific lead category. So email marked as too complex, right? And so if an email is marked as too complex, we want to send it to this webhook URL. So this is going to be inside step 1. So the step 1 automation, we're going to be sending, first of all, you're going to create a webhook over here, and then we're going to be sending that to the webhook. And so if we go over here, we've got the webhook. We can put it on a client, which I don't think it really matters. One second. But I think I will put it on a client. So I've put it on a client, and then we're going to put the event type as lead category updated. And so if the lead category is updated to too complex, we get a webhook. So I'll add this, and then I'm going to show you how this works live. And so when we go to the master inbox, we can actually add a new tab. And then go to the master inbox. We can look for no, let's find me. Okay, so we've got that right there. And then I've got a lead over here. So the lead responded with, hey, Matt, what experience do you have? And so right here, I'm going to switch the lead category to too complex. And then from here, we're going to be receiving a webhook that we just set up. So if I were to run this module only, we're going to be getting data that comes through to this webhook over here once it loads. And this data from the webhook is going to be very interesting because if it does load, let me refresh. Oh, it just did. It just did right as I left, which is funny. So let me actually do that again, and then we should be getting. By the way, is this all making sense, or am I moving too quickly? So run this module only. We're gonna do that again. If at any point you have questions or you need me to go back or anything of that nature, just let me know. So we do that again. We mark it as too complex, and hopefully this time it comes fast. Okay, so it's here. So we've got the webhook. It's going to give us key information on that specific lead. The main thing we're looking for is the conversation history. And so we've got all of this conversation that happened. So we've got the subject line. This obviously matches what we've got over here. So the subject line over here, all of the text, all of the emails, these are all going to be inside this section over here. And the last reply from Rodolfo looks like this. So it's coming out as HTML. And so what we need to do, since we're sending it to Slack, we need to convert this HTML into markdown format, as that is the format that Slack uses. And so we grab this webhook over here, and then we reverse the chat history. And so if you were to look at the history, the chat history and what it looks like, this right here is an email that was sent on June 2nd. And then this right here is an email that was sent also on June 2nd, but shortly, like it was later, right? And so we need to reverse that, as that's how the thread looks. If we were using instantly, would this work the same? Exactly. Yeah, it would. The only concern with using instantly is that the API is not as strong as Smart Lead, but it would work basically the same. And so you reverse the chat history, you iterate through all of that chat, and then you convert it into markdown format. And so let's actually do that. Let's run all of this. Run all of this. We do that again. So we go to the master inbox, marked as too complex. We do that again. And then when we come here, it's going to do everything I explained. So now the chat history is going to be reversed. And so this one is the 138 one, and then this one is the 136 one. So it's reversed. And then we iterate through that using this module. We get the chat history. And by the way, what this is, this first split, it's basically removing the second layer of threads. And so what that actually looks like, if you were to look at the master inbox. So this section over here, this is a reply, right? What I just highlighted, this is a reply. And so what you'll notice in this reply is that it also includes the previous threads. And obviously this just bloats the content that we have inside our prompts, and we don't want to do that. And this is the old the sent email. So having that first split that you were just looking at over here, that removes the bottom layer. And so if we were to actually look at it like this, markdown, it's like, hey Matt, what experience? And then it has regards Rodolfo, and then it ends over here. And previously it has the signature, and then it keeps going. So we don't want it to keep going. We want to split that. And so that's what that automation is doing right there. And then from there, we use the markdown format to get the chat history for both. And then we're going to use ChatGPT and this prompt over here to basically analyze this text and everything that's in this text and just clean it up for us. Because if we were to look at it like this, it looks fine, it looks good, but it's not something that we would want to send to the client right away. Although you can honestly just skip the ChatGPT portion. It does not really matter. And I think this is asking me for a max token, so I'll just put that over here. And then we're going to actually run this and send it to a Slack channel. And so this is what we use as the Slack module. It's got all of this information. If anyone wants to, what does the first function do? So the first function, let me show you what that looks like. So let's go ahead and add, let's add a set variable, right? So we've got set variable, right? Set variable, and then we're going to call this name, right? And so the variable name is going to be, actually, you know what? Let's do it like this. So we're going to add multiple set variables so that you can see how set multiple variables so that you can see how all of these work together. So we've got this one, which is the name, right? So name, and then we're going to have another one, which is name, right? Name. And then we're going to have actually a third one, which is a different variation to just show you what it looks like. So name, we're going to put my name. So Noel Mani Raguha. and then we're going to do it again, but this time around, we're going to use the split function. And by the way, that split function is found in the A section over here. So if we were to go to the hovering section and then go to the A section, you would look for split. And how I like to do it is literally just hover over it. If you hover over it, you would basically see what it does, right? And so the split, we put that here, and we're basically going to split it by the space. And so if there's a space, we split it like that. And then let me actually do the first module to show you what that actually does as well. So we split it, and this time around, we go to the array section over here. Sorry, the array section, and then we do first. And so if you were to do first, after it's been split, you're basically going to be returning one thing, and that one thing is going to be the first name. And so let's run this once. And now we've got multiple variables, right? And so the first one is nothing, Noel Mani Raguha. The second one is going to return the same thing, actually, but this time it's going to be in an array. And then the third one is going to return oh, you know what? It's because I named them all the same thing. So name one, name two. I was like, what's going on? So we run this once again, and this time around we should have all of these three things. So boom, it's an array. Did I do something? Oh, you know what? It's because I need to actually use a space module. So if you were to navigate over to this section, go to the and then you add a space. So we would actually have to add space because it doesn't work when you just use a regular space. Cool. There you go. So we've got a full name. We've got this split into two arrays. So we've got a full name, Noel Mani Raguha, and then this one is the first. And so that's what we're doing with the email, right? We're basically grabbing the first section of the email and excluding the replies. And so another question was asked over here. Could you also show and explain how your data module works? Don't know how that works. So this is going to come into play later on. So could you get split name one for the same effect? Yeah, you could certainly do that. That would work. Although I just prefer to do it like this because it's cleaner. So the data module is going to come into play with the overall automation. So what we're putting inside this data store is the lead ID, the campaign ID, the email address, all of these different things, including the custom timestamp, the Slack timestamp, so that in section 3 we can fetch that lead information very easily. And so we're simply going to bring back that information directly from Slack so that we can now send an email to the lead from Slack. And so that's what it does. And I'll explain it further as we go along with this automation over here. So I'm going to delete this set variable, and I think everything makes sense. The only thing I'm wondering is whether I want to send it to a specific channel. So I'm actually just going to create a new webhook. So Slack webhook, incoming webhooks. I'm just going to create a brand new webhook so that we can send it to a specific channel. And this is going to be, wait a minute, it wouldn't be a webhook. So this is actually an app. So this is not a Slack webhook. This is a Slack app. And so if you've never used the Slack app, it basically allows you to create different things within Slack that are more complex, so that you can have like buttons and different things that do different, like you can have buttons and other things. So I'll actually show you how that works. Let's go to your apps over here. And the one we're looking for is the biweekly reports, right? So biweekly reports, and then incoming webhook. So incoming webhook, this is going to a specific channel. I want to actually send it to a different channel. So add new webhook. And this time around, I want to send it to the testing channel. So testing channel, and then we'll allow it. By the way, that's how you create the app. So just go to where I went, and you can basically create an app, and all you'll need, if we were to look at um, the what do you call that? Features and functionality. You basically need an incoming webhook interactive component, and that's about it. You don't need much else. Why is there a custom HTTP module for Slack instead? That's exactly why, right? Because this is a Slack app, and not necessarily Slack notification. So this is going to send it to the correct channel, and so I think we should be good at this point. So we're going to leave it as a 30-second delay, and let's run it. So run anyway, and let's go into the master inbox. So this, as I mentioned, this is for someone who is working with a team or working with clients, and you want to easily collaborate with your clients, and send them emails that they can easily collaborate with you on. So this is the testing channel. We've got no messages in this section over here. And so in just a second over here, we're going to be receiving a brand new message. And so as you can see, we've got that message from Rodolfo, which is like, hey, Matt, what is the experience that they have? Could you explain? And then we've got his signature, right? And then we've got his cell phone and his website, right? And then we've also got these interactive components, right? Which allows us to write a custom email, right? So write a reply, right? So it allows us to do really cool things like that. And in fact, something else just came through. So if we were to look at this thread over here, now not only do we have the previous conversation, so the email that we've just received, but we also have the old thread. So this is the initial email that we sent to Rodolfo. And so we can see that over here. And now anybody that's inside the channel. So right now it's just me, right? So it's literally just me. But if I've got my clients in this channel, if I've got my team members in this channel, if I've got anyone who's responsible for responding to something like this, they would basically wait a minute, it shouldn't even be biweekly reports. It should be the other automation. So I put the incoming webhook in the wrong section. So let me actually delete this, because the biweekly reports is a completely different thing that we can certainly get into afterwards. The one that we're looking for is the smart lead email approvals. Smart lead email approvals, because I've got a few of these apps. So email approvals, I didn't really name this well. Actually, I think it's responses. It's responses. So interactivity. Also, no, it's incoming webhooks over here. And then we're gonna delete this as well. So we're gonna add the webhook again. So is this all making sense, or are you guys confused with what's going on over here? If you want me to clarify any points, just let me know. So we're gonna do that again. As you can see, like this worked. This worked. Like it actually sent the message. But what's going to happen? The problem, because we have it in the wrong app, the actual buttons are going to do different things. And so for the buttons to work, we need to have this interactivity and shortcuts command. And so interactivity and shortcuts, this is what's going to allow us to have functionality for the buttons. And so that's why we're actually switching the webhook and the URLs for that. So let's go back here. Let us post this to a different channel with the right interactivity. So boom. Now we save it, and then we run it again. And this time around, we're going to do it again as too complex. And by the way, if I were to actually do this, like this is built inside Slack, and obviously Slack is awesome. It's great. Actually, there's two things to consider. If you're working with team members and you want to send team members notifications, I would probably recommend that you replicate what we've built here, but instead of doing it inside Slack, you do it inside a tool like ClickUp, Notion, Airtable, etc., so that your teammates can respond from Airtable and things like that. If you're working with clients, that's when I would recommend you send it to the client directly. So we've just done it again. I'm not sure why it's taking a while to load, but it is. So let's refresh the page. Let's see what's happening. So 1027, run anyway, use existing data. Yeah, it's just being weird. Okay, so I'll explain the next steps as this is loading. So the next step is when we click on one of the buttons, it's going to call this webhook over here. And so this webhook ends with 29Z. So we go into the Slack application, and as you can see, the interactivity and shortcuts is 29Z. So it's actually going to go to the right place. And in fact, we've just received the message now. So boom, now it works. So let's actually do it. So we're going to run this once, run this module only. And now we're going to write a message. So a message draft. And then I'm going to click send this email. And so when I click send this email, this is a button click. This is going to call this interactivity component and then go to the second automation over here, though Make is being really slow right now. So it's making it hard for us. Some of the bonuses, by the way, it's like view and smart lead. This sends us to the smart lead URL. Let us see. Okay, so it's here. And so when an interactivity component is clicked, it comes here and we receive a payload that is in JSON format. And so this is very long. It's not structured well for us to actually do anything with it. And by the way, as we're here, I'll get the third step up and running so that we can get that going. So run once. We're going to use existing data. I did not want to do that because it's going to actually delete everything. Shoot. And Make is being like really slow right now. So we're refreshing the page and we're going to delete this. So by the way, in order for you to avoid people responding to the same leads over and over and over and over, it ran. it ran without me seeing it. So in order for you to avoid people responding, you're actually going to be deleting the messages as soon as the email is sent to the webhook. And so in this case, when I was refreshing the page, it seems to have gone through. So we can actually just discard the changes, go to the history, and at 33 it ran. And then I'll explain what happened. So as I mentioned, it comes out like this with a large payload that is in JSON format. And then we parse through this JSON to organize it in a way that works the best for us. And then once it's organized like this, we're going to be able to then start referencing the message that was sent. In our particular case, we've got a bunch of values, and the values is the plain text action. So if you recall, I had put in a message draft. And so we send all of this information into a third step, which this third step is basically sending that to this automation right here. And once again, Make does not like me because it should have actually already sent. It should have already come here. Okay, so save changes, nothing. Do I have the correct URL? That's a good question. So this is the URL, ends with WBR. Oh, it gave us an error? Is this an error? I would rather it be an error than not. Because otherwise it's like, what's going on? Okay, so let's see over here. So it's sending it into Slack, but that's wrong. It should not actually be sending anything to Slack. Email response approval. username, send to step 3, edit, divider, email, danger, click me. Initial value is email block, email response approval, send to step 3. I might actually have this made wrong, because it should not be sending this to, like, in this manner. It should be sending it with have I ever run this? It said I have never run it before. So this must be like a different one. Let's go to my make account and let's see if I've got any automation. Is this all making sense, by the way, guys, or are you confused? Email from Slack. Email thread Slack. Step 2. Watch all email replies. Okay, so I must have danger sent to step 3. Okay, so we're gonna do this again. And actually, let me do one other thing. So I've got a bunch of automations that I have created a long time ago. So I'm gonna try to import it from like my archives, like the ones that I created a very long time ago, to see if I've got one that's done correctly. So step 2, this one was all the way from April. I think you're more confused than me. I'm more confused. That's funny. Or maybe this is right. Honestly, it might be right. I might just need to send it over to the right channel. All right, so let's just go with it, and let's see what happens. Okay, so we're gonna get this interactivity. Sorry, we're gonna get this this URL endpoint over here. We're gonna send this to the right place, and we've got all the information. Boom, we save it. And then we're going to prevent the deletion of the messages, just because we're testing, and we don't want to have all of that happen. Okay, actually, there's nothing in this JSON. It should be right. View and smart lead. Right. And the reason for that is because it's actually empty right now. So that's what I was talking about, right? Because we don't want to be sending the same email over and over. Okay, so let's do it again. So now we've got a team member, or we've got ourselves working inside Smart Lead, and for whatever reason, a message is too complex. We go in the master inbox and we change the lead category to too complex. It runs this automation over here. And do you write documentation? I do actually. So like when you go to the website, like I have documentation for like these automations, right? So people can literally just copy them. But something like this is more complex. And so something like this, I'm going to come up with the documentation, but it's going to take a little bit of time. So we go inside here and boom, we've got the email. And this time around, we're not going to delete it, just for testing purposes. And so now we're going to create an email response. So an email response, right? And then we're going to click send this email. And then once we do send this email, it should trigger this automation and then send it to step 3. And then inside step 3, we should get, honestly, I'll do it like this. So inside step 3, we should get the email response. But I honestly think Make just does not like me right now. Oh, unless this got an error. So this got an error. Unexpected token, JSON at 34. Right. And that was what I was talking about. It literally, it just has like the wrong values. Okay, so let's actually look into this. So what we need out of this, we need blocks. From those blocks, we need to get the mail to. The text contains text. Da, 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 da. Okay, I got it. So email response approval sent by. Boom. Okay. So I actually just need to restructure the entire content over here. And so leave a comment in the chat right now. Do you guys want me to spend like 10 minutes restructuring the content so that we can get to step 3? Or do you guys want to see some other automations in the meantime? Because I do need to restructure this so that it can get sent to this JSON section, like, well, essentially. Do client reporting automation. Do you guys agree? Oh, wait a minute. That worked. Yeah, that worked. So turns out, I'm just putting the data in wrong. And so if I were to look at the request content, cool. So I think this is good. I'm just gonna finalize this then. Do you guys agree? Client reporting. You like to see that finish? We can do client reporting as well right after this. We should be done with this one in like 10 minutes. So I use ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT, you put your JSON format and you say, what is the error with this JSON file, right? You plop that in there. And then this is going to give you an answer with what you got wrong. I'm having issues because instantly, yeah, I've heard that. A lot of people tend to say Smart Leads API is better. Uh, please tell me that you didn't write this code yourself. No, I actually didn't. So if you were to search for a block kit builder. So this is how you guys can build these things on your own. So you want to go to the Slack block kit builder, and inside the Slack block kit builder, you're able to add different things. And so one of the things that I used is a multi-line plain text input. So this is the multi-line plain text input. You can add radio buttons. You can add link buttons. You can add just plain buttons. So like this is what you guys are seeing inside the Slack channel over here. So this is what you guys are seeing, and that is sourced from the block kit builder. And so once you've created the actual content of the message, you can simply copy this code, and then when you paste it inside make, inside over here, you simply need to change the variables to ensure that they meet your needs, and you can test all of those variables inside here as well. So like if we were to look at plain text option 0 and we were to just change that to being hello, like this, right? As you see, it changes over here, and we can test all of that as well. But sometimes there's going to be issues. Like the main issue over here is the trailing commas. There's a trailing comma after the last element of blocks array, which is generally not allowed in. Okay, so this is one thing I don't love about JSON format, is because it literally just it confuses me sometimes. Okay, so trailing comma after the last element of the blocks array. So blocks after the last element of the blocks array. Which one would that be? Oh, it's right here. No, that's not it. Ay, 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 ay. That's gonna take a while. That's gonna take a while to fix. Anyways, it works. You're literally just gonna have to remove a comma. And when we're done with this live stream, I will upload the correct blueprint with the correct like with the correct stuff there. And so we get all of those blocks, we get all of them here, and then we can parse through all of those blocks using this parse JSON formula, and then iterate through them. So we search for the user ID, we get the lead info block, get lead email. Damn, this is a lot. I'm realizing how much this is, and obviously, like, for the right type of person, this is going to be great. Um, but all of this stuff works. Hey, Boss Chan, I'm gonna go to the client reporting one because I think we're gonna spend a little bit. We're gonna. This one's gonna take a little bit long. Do you guys all agree? You guys want to see the client reports? And Boss Chan, are you good with that? But this is done. I know this one. I know this one is done. It's just this section over here. We're literally missing a comma, and that's annoying. Cool. So, by the way, let me actually just demonstrate like the end output of that. So the end output for anyone that's curious. So we've done all of these different things. We've sent the message here. It goes through the second automation, the second step over here, goes through to the third step. And what we're doing here is we're basically just sending the email to SmartLead. And so we use this URL endpoint over here. We input the API key. We add all of these different fields. And from here, we're going to be able to send an email directly to the lead in the master inbox over here. Cool. Cool. So that is that. This one's tough, but at least we're live streaming it. Okay, so we're gonna hop out of this. By the way, when you guys check out these automations later on, they're going to be fully refined for you guys to use. So let's go back here, and we're gonna do the weekly report. And there's two ways that you can do a weekly report. One, you can just literally just get the report and send it. Like, this is the simplest one. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna put this on the website right now so you guys can get that. Yo, uh Etienne, I hope I'm saying your name right. Why do you like Instantly over SmartLead? Have you used both of them, or do you have a reason for the preference? Okay, so this gets all campaigns, get all campaign data, boom, boom, boom. This looks good. Simplified data, boom, boom, boom. Oh, this is easy. Yeah, this is easy. All right, yeah, this is basically done. I'm gonna send it to you guys right now. One thing that is this with is with this automation is we're checking all. Honestly, we're just gonna leave it like this for now. We're gonna leave it like this for now. We're gonna export it, and then I'm gonna add that inside this one right here. So create weekly reports for clients. And then this one is going to be the simplest version. And that's the one that I just downloaded. I'm going to put 3 automations over here. You could just copy all of them. So the simplest version. And then we're also going to get the more complex version. Slack, right? And then 2 steps is what it's going to be called. So the simplest version, you guys can download that. That's the one that I just downloaded. I'm also going to add the more complex version, and then we'll work through those together. So more complex version. So report step 1. Step 1. Report. Honestly, only tried Instantly and just stuck with it. Considering switching to SmartLead, but there's it. Yeah, honestly, like, everyone is has got their preferences, right? Some people love Instantly, some people love SmartLead, some people don't love either. So yeah, This one is the more complex one, and so if you recall what I was just mentioning over here, um, like the one that I do has like 14-day stats, and so we're checking for all the stats in a 14-day window, and we're formatting it in this manner over here. The other one, on the other hand, the other one simply does uh what do you call it? It does all-time stats. And so you can simply just grab some components of this automation and then put it in your own workflows if that's easier and simpler for you to leverage. Cool. So let me download this over here. I think everything is fine. There's nothing crazy over here. Yeah, so I could just remove this. Um, webhook, webhook. And by the way, I use ClickUp. And so ClickUp is where I store some of the data over here. So if you use Airtable, Google Sheets, or anything other than that, you can simply just use those, right? Like I just use ClickUp. So you can switch those over. But alternatively, if you don't want to do anything of that nature, you can simply just leverage the information here and then use it in the simpler automation. So did I download this one over here, by the way? I did not. Okay, so let's download this right here, and then let's add this into um, the document so you guys can easily just copy that as well. So blueprint 11 and then blueprint 12. And by the way, Bosjan, for the one that we were just working on, which was the responding to emails from Slack. So respond to emails from Slack. I have a video for that. So how to reply to any email thread from Slack. It's also on the website. When you want to build this for yourself, you can just check this video out. We go through the whole process from start to finish so that you can easily see how that works. Cool. So let's move on to the weekly report. So what this weekly report automation does, it's basically done. So the only thing that you're going to really need to do now is the only thing you're going to need to do at this point is literally just modify how the email is going to look for your clients. And so the tool that I use, it is completely free. Is called befree.io. I'm gonna put that in the chat in case anyone wants to use that. Uh, it's literally just an email editor. So befree.io, and like this is an example of an email that we send, which is new engaged lead. We've got the person with the name. We've got the company name, the mobile number, LinkedIn URL, like all of these things that we're able to dynamically add, and we design it from here. And so the weekly report automation, right? If we were to go to projects, um, I modified it just for like showing some people some things. Um, but this is what the weekly report normally looks like. So I will delete this over here. I will add a banner. So yeah, insert my banner. So if you have a banner, you can add your banner, and then your brand colors, you want to add those. So A34, AE7. I've got my brand colors, and you can add anything. And in fact, I'm going to be switching this up and making a separate report type to show you guys like the different types of reports that you can have for your clients. And so this is one of the reports. I just switched it to being back to normal. How do you view it? So you can preview it. So this is what it looks like in my client's inbox. They see the headers. And by the way, in order for you to get the code, you would simply click export. And when you click export, there's going to be copy the HTML, and the HTML is what we paste inside the automation over here. And so this automation has a bunch of HTML code with the email reports, right? So we are able to actually get those email reports and then add custom different things. And so let me actually design another report. Literally, you could just copy this. So I've got a banner, we have generated this, and then we've got last 14 days of stats, right? So we've got this. And by the way, one bonus with the automation, I will show this to you. Weekly report. This one is one I sent. So this is like I sent this on day one of sending emails. So think about it like this: when you get a brand new client, you start a warm up process, and then 2 weeks go by, and you've still not sent any emails. You've not done anything for the client. Maybe you've sent a few emails to them to show them what it looks like. Maybe you've shown them but the way that I like to do it is like this, where we send them a report on the first engaged lead or something of that nature, just so that they see like, yeah, we're making some progress despite the fact that it's 2 weeks. So this is it in action, right? So we've got the banner, exactly what you just saw. The only added thing that is a bonus is I've got a video. So the workflow for weekly reports allows us to actually leverage different things like video. And then this description, we saw a positive reply, which quickly turned into a book meeting on day one, which is encouraging. So to boost engagement, we're doing XYZ. This was written by ChatGPT. So when the weekly report comes to us, ChatGPT writes, uh, hey Mike. So the weekly report, it's in befree.io. So weekly report, let me put the uh website for you. So be free. It's in the chat. And by the way, when you go to afonto.com/automations, I'm also going to put that in the chat. You are able to navigate to the danger zone section. So I will refresh the page. Inside the danger zone, what danger zone means is just no instructions, right? Because I still need to create the instructions for this. And so inside the danger zone, there's create weekly reports for clients. And we've got 3 automations that you can easily copy and paste. And so one of them is the simplest version. Another one is 2 more complex versions that allow us to create these reports. And so back to the report. This one's got the leads that we've generated. We've got a Loom video. Like you can literally click on this Loom video. It's like, yo, we did this. The client was super happy with this type of report because not only are they getting a video, but they're also seeing our work. And I also get to skip out on 30 minutes of meeting them. Cool. So let's get into the build out for this. So this is one of the designs that we've created. I'm actually going to create another design that you guys can leverage, just so that you see like how this stuff works. So we've already got this. I don't know why it's being all weird. Did I not save it? I think I might have not saved it. So edit email. Yo, I already had that saved, so it just doesn't like me, I guess. So we go A34, AE7, back to the brand colors. I wonder if there's a way to easily duplicate this directly from here. So save, that does not work. What about duplicate? Duplicate. Nothing. Okay. If I just do this, okay, it says saved, but it does not allow me to duplicate it. So let's try to duplicate it from here. And also it keeps being weird. Okay, so make a copy. So this is the second type of report that you can create for your clients. So you can actually just avoid the fact that you've even sent any emails. Um, and I think that's the way that I'm going to be going with. So we're going to duplicate this over here. In fact, we're gonna duplicate this. Is there a way to uh uh okay, so this is taking up too much space. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a row. So this is how you would actually do it, right? You would have the rows with different things. In our case, I want to have 2 columns, right? So I would add that over here, right? And then change the background color to A34. And then Is this content background color FFF? Okay, so this is looking good. And then we're gonna move this section over here. So this section, we're gonna we're gonna move. Okay. Um, actually, no, let's move this instead then. Drag it here. Okay. Anyways, I'm just gonna skip the design. I'm really bad at this, and it's gonna take forever. And you guys are not here for design. You guys are here for automation. So let's skip all of that. I'm sorry for showcasing those horrible design skills. By the way, Kyle, welcome to the channel. Okay, so let us go into. Gotta go now. Have a good day, boss John. There will be a recording. Yeah, I'm gonna be uploading it to the channel so you can check it back out later. Okay, so with this, we're going to be using the Smart Lead API key, and so this is going to be the URL that we're leveraging. We put the API key. It's going to be a GET request. This is going to get all of the campaign analytics, and then we're going to iterate through all of those analytics. And we have a filter over here that you can actually remove in the automation. This filters out for just myself as the only client with the analytics. And then we get the campaign stats. And then from that, we aggregate it into a table. So let's actually just run it all the way until we have to. That did not work, right? Because the API key is wrong. So I need to actually switch my API key, right? So I'm going to switch my API key. You guys are not able to see it right now, but in just a second, I'm going to be right back. So edit keys. And by the way, you don't actually need a data store like this. The only reason that I personally use a data store is because whenever I'm making videos for people, as you can see, the API key is hidden. And the API key gives access to read, write, delete access to your Smart Lead account. And so you want to keep your API key safe, right? And you don't want everyone to be able to see your API key. And so for me, the only reason I use it is so that it's easily hidden and I can easily showcase like these different things. But you could certainly delete the data store. You don't need that in your automations. So let's run it once again. The API key should be accurate this time around. And so from here, as I'm saying that, I'm realizing when I click on this, the API key is going to just show again. So I'm not going to do that. But I've already shown you guys what it looks like before. So I hope you get the idea. So this is looking at all of the campaign analytics, and then it's going to aggregate all of those analytics into a text that looks like this. So we're seeing the email sent, the positive count, all of that stuff, and it's aggregated in a table that looks something like this. So if you only want to show them the positive count, then you can do it with just the positive count. If you want to send them everything, then you can do it with everything. And then we use ChatGPT to basically analyze all of that data and then output it in a single JSON format like this. So it aggregates everything together into one thing, and then we use the JSON format to put it together. And then from there, we convert it into a JSON file that we can easily leverage. So we've got email sent, prospect counted, reply count, positive count, and then we send it to Gmail. And so to send it to Gmail, you can create a draft. Sorry, to send it to Gmail, we're using the create a draft thing because this is just a sample. But if you want to send it to your different clients, what you actually want to do is you want to have a client database. And so this client database is going to store all of your clients. And honestly, like, this is probably one of the most important things inside my agency because it does so many things for us. And I think it's super helpful. So a client database, for example, if I want to send billing reminders or I want to send anything of that nature, I've got billing contacts. And sometimes the billing contacts are different than the email recipients for the campaigns. And so you can simply input all of the emails inside this section over here. And in this particular use case, in this particular automation, there is no get clients or get anything of that nature. Honestly, we should add that, and we are going to add that. So what you would then do is once you found the clients, and I'll show you how to do that. Once you found the clients, you simply add them to the recipients section. In my case, I'm sending it as a draft to showcase what this looks like. After this, we're going to create a client database and then send all of those emails there. Cool. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go into my inbox over here. Let us go back. So Gmail, and then let's refresh the page, and let us also go ahead and run this automation. So let's run it from scratch. We're going to go through the data store, get all the campaigns, iterate through them, get the campaign analytics, aggregate them into a table, use ChatGPT to simplify the data, convert it into JSON, and then send it as an email that's going to come in our inbox over here. But again, if we want to direct these reports to our clients, we're going to be able to do that as well. And so now if I refresh the page, we've got a weekly report. And by the way, I'm remembering this report is very ugly because what we used is these reports that I was just showcasing inside the Smart Lead video. And so you would actually want to modify this, make it look beautiful. And then once it looks amazing and it looks great, you would then export it with the correct HTML that looks great for your branding. And so there you go. We've got the email, but again, this is just sent to us. And so if you want to send this to a client, you want to create a client database. And so if we were to go to the afonto.com/automation section, there's going to be a Smart Lead client database. And inside the Smart Lead client database, you are able to make a copy of the Sheets file. And this Sheets file is going to include tons of different things, such as analytics, campaign backups, but the one we're looking for is the client section over here. And so I'm going to actually go ahead and make a copy of this. So copy of Afonto. Yeah, I'm just going to do like delete, right? Just delete this because I don't want it in my thing. Okay, and so now we've got a client database, right? And the client we're going to be looking for is called Noel Maniraguha. The client ID is 7407048. The client email is nmaniraguha507@gmail.com. And all of this other stuff does not matter. What we actually want is recipients, right? So we want to have a custom field. Like I've got these custom fields 1, 2, 3. You want to have a custom field called recipients, and maybe we'll add it here. So insert to the right, and we're going to add recipients. And so this is where your leads, so your clients, this is where we're going to be directing the emails to. So we go back here. I've already got this. By the way, I do not recommend building this in Google Sheets. I do it in Google Sheets so that it's easy for people to copy and paste. But the way that I prefer to do it is inside a project management tool. So ClickUp is great. Airtable is great. Notion's great. All of these tools are great. Sheets is great just to learn and get the basics down and figure out how it's supposed to be structured. The reason why I don't like Sheets for reference is because if I were to add insert column to the right like this, just change something random, the entire automation is going to get broken because every single custom field after this over here is going to get jumbled up with one another. And so if you're going to do this, start with Sheets so that you know how it works, but then replicate it inside Airtable, ClickUp, Notion, etc. Cool. So we're going to delete these clients over here. And by the way, just so you're aware, this is not how you actually add the clients to your Smart Lead, to your database. You want to actually use the automation that I already give out. So Smart Lead client database, this automation is going to fetch all of our Smart Lead clients and then add them to our Google Sheets or add them to our ClickUp or add them to anything of that nature. And so once we've got this, we're going to navigate over to the report. So, sorry, over here. And then we're going to add a section over here. So over here, we're going to add a module, and this is going to be a Sheets module, which is basically search rows. And we're going to search for the sheets. And by the way, if you look at my actual automation, the one that I actually use for my agency, it's basically the same thing. It's just list all clients, but it's coming from ClickUp. And so sheets, we're going to search for that one that we just created. So delete, and then maximum number of rows. The sheet name is going to be clients, and that's about it. Honestly, I don't think we need anything else. So we grab this over here, the sheets, and we should get we should get this one client back because there's no, hold on a minute, because I don't think I put that it has a header. And also my thing is not working at the moment. Okay, so there we go. So we've got all of that information, but I don't think it knows that we have a header. So column table contains headers. Yeah. So clients, spreadsheet, row number, spreadsheet ID, bundle, formatted. Um, delete client name. It's going to be clients. Filter. Okay, you know what? I'm going to just do it like this. So client ID exists. And then maximum number of rows. We're just going to leave that then. Okay, so what we're looking for in this is the recipients, and we're trying to find the recipients dynamically. And by the way, I'm about to finish this automation right here, like very soon. Do you guys want to see any other automation? So we've already done responding to Smart Lead. This is the weekly client reports, a HubSpot two-way sync. Let me know what type of automations you want. And obviously, like some of these automations have yet to be released, but I do have them internally. And so if you want to see those, just let me know. So now we should have the person come back to us. And I'm not sure why it's saying overview. I think it's because of the way the document is structured. Right, it's because of the way the document is structured. So we actually just don't want to have this. Inbox management interface on Airtable. Inbox management interface. I have that. I have that. And by the way, I'll quickly just do a demo for you, and you could tell me. You could just leave another comment letting me know if it's in line with what you're looking for. So over here, I've got and by the way, I'm going to come back to the report. So over here, I've got email accounts, and the email accounts, these are sourced from Smart Lead. And so on a daily basis, we're checking for the warm-up status to see if the warm-up status goes inactive or active or whatever. And so if it goes inactive, we're going to get assigned a task so that we can resume that. If for whatever reason the reputation goes below a certain percentage, we track that and we can modify that. And we also have these different statuses such as reputation too low, disabled in Smart Lead, etc. And so you can have a VA work on those themselves. Alternatively, I've got this domain section, which allows us to set up domains dynamically. And so we've got these different domain groups. And so this is a Google admin, this is another Google admin, and all of these are in one domain group. And so if we were to have different admin accounts, we would have different groups, and we can set up the DKIM keys and do all of that stuff. And in addition to that, we have different statuses that they go through, which all have different SOPs and automations. For example, if we were to add the DKIM key to ClickUp over here and then move it to this status, it's going to add the DKIM key, DMARC, SPF records, all automatically to our GoDaddy account. So Mike, if you can clarify a little bit more what you would like to see, because that is a big scope, let me know. And let me look at 18 data invalid thoughts on why. Any thoughts on why when posting message on the Slack channel? Probably it's the same issue that we were having before, which is grab that. So grab that, go inside ChatGPT, do why is the error happening with this JSON file? And ChatGPT is going to tell you what happened. So copy the JSON file, put it in ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT is going to tell you what happened. So finally, we go back to the Sheets file. We've found the person. We found the client over here. So we've got the name, we've got all this information, and now we want to send it into our Gmail account. And so now what you want to do is add the recipients, and you can actually map the recipients. And so the way that you want to map the recipients is by using the split function. And so if you split the recipients by the comma, it's going to basically create an array for you. If you don't use the split function, you're going to get an error. And so we want to actually split it. And so where is the split function? It's over here. We're going to add that And then we're going to add the email recipients. And so the recipients are over here. We're going to split that by the comma, and then we're going to watch it send a report to all of our clients. And so this is going to send another email. And by the way, if you look here, it sent it from us. It's literally just a draft. It's sent to nobody. So we didn't actually send it to anybody. But now we're able to dynamically send this email to the different clients seamlessly, right? And so if I were to refresh the page, boom, we've got another one. And this time around, it sent it to two people. So we sent it to the first person, and then we sent it to my personal email address right here. And obviously, this is the simplest version of the automation. If you want it to be more complex, I've already got all of these documented, not documented, but over here. So just copy what I've got. It's going to work. And by the way, I'm going to be switching this to ClickUp module. Okay, so let's look at this. Mike, I've seen people create interface on Airtable that allows an inbox manager to respond to leads, categorize them, forward complex responses to clients. Yeah, that's possible. The thing is, like, if you want to use Airtable, I don't use Airtable. I know how it works, but that's not my primary thing. So I can show you how you can build that inside ClickUp. And you could just replicate it um, inside Airtable. And by the way, that's the weekly report. That's how it's done. You create the email for free using befree.io, export it, input it inside the automation, boom, 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 add all the fields, and then you're good. And by the way, Smart Lead, right? So on the Smart Lead YouTube channel, so youtube.com, we go to the Smart Lead YouTube channel. And by the way, check this out. I've got nothing on my YouTube screen. So like, Newsfeed Eradicator, man, it's so good. Just as a side note. So Smart Lead. If you want more details on to do the weekly report, there's a video over here. So how to automate your weekly report. This goes into more detailed instructions there. And so to answer your question, Mike, with regards to the the Airtable interface, that is very complex, and I don't think we will have enough time to go through it. But I can mention some of the things. So an interface on Airtable that allows an inbox manager to respond to leads. Yep. So responding to leads, the one that we created over here. So the respond to emails from Slack. You can use what we created here as a starting point, because you can just replicate the frameworks and add them to ClickUp, Airtable, etc. Respond to leads, categorize them, forward the complex replies to, yeah, that one's going to be a big scope. That one's going to be a big scope. Let me do a HubSpot two-way sync. This is going to sort of answer the last section of what you're talking about, which is categorizing. So like, if someone was to change the categories inside Airtable, they also get changed inside HubSpot. And same thing, HubSpot slash Airtable slash ClickUp two-way sync, right? So slash ClickUp. And by the way, I do already have this one, right? So whenever a lead responds positively, so right, so whenever a lead responds positively, we add them to, right. So we've got the ClickUp. Yeah, this is a good one for you, Mike. Check out the ClickUp Smart Lead dashboard. Store new engaged leads inside ClickUp. You want to copy this, because this is the first thing that you're gonna want to have inside your application, inside your Airtable thing. So if you're gonna get started with that, this is the very first automation. It's going to have all of the leads come up inside your tool, and you can also create complex reports and things like that. Okay, so I've already got all the leads inside my HubSpot account, and simultaneously I have all of the leads inside my ClickUp account. And so having these leads inside these tools allows you to do many things. And so some of the things is creating different analytics. And so if we were to go to the timeline view over here inside my ClickUp account, we're able to see the positive replies from Smart Lead directly from ClickUp on based on when they responded to my emails. And so we're going back. As you can see, I've not done any campaigns in a very long time. And so, damn, this is being really slow. This is being really slow. Okay, there you go. So we're back in March, and in March I was just cranking positive replies, right? And this is for my internal agency, just like getting people engaged and and working with them. And so one of the things that you can do after you've set up this automation mic inside your Airtable, whatever, the next automation that you might want to have is a way to track the conversations, right? And so one of the things you want to have all of the statuses match with one another. So we've got information request, interested, meeting request. All of these that you're seeing over here, they're the same lead categories that I've got inside my Smart Lead account. Obviously, I don't track do not contacts. I don't track out of office, any of those. Usually just the people who are inside the actual funnel. And so you want to have all of the statuses here. And then in the activity view, you might want to have like a conversation history. So as you can see, I don't track the conversations from my my ClickUp account. I just go directly to my campaign URL inside Smart Lead. And so that's what you would need to do. You would need to just do that, add some subtasks, add some checklists, and you'd be good to go from there. So let us create this two-way sync. And so what I want to do is, if Jeff was to go from closed and sequenced to redeemed and nurturing, we also want that to be reflected inside our Smart Lead account and vice versa. And we want to do the same thing inside HubSpot and any other tools that we use. And so I think I could just discard these changes. It doesn't matter. And then we go to HubSpot. Yeah, so I've got HubSpot. No, it would be in this section over here. And so we've got a two-way sync. And so these are some of the automations that many people don't have, especially the people who leverage multiple tools like HubSpot and different things like that. So in order for this to work, all of the contacts that you bring in have to also be inside HubSpot, and that's not hard to do. So like, or ClickUp, by the way. But I'll tell you how I set it up internally. So internally, every single lead that I reach out to comes from Clay. And from Clay, they can come from any database. And so we can use the Clay database. We can use Apollo. We can use a scraped database from Instant Data Scraper or whatever. But no matter what, all of them are going to get funneled into our Clay account. And then from Clay, we send them over into a campaign. So as you can see, we add the lead to our campaign. And the moment that they're added to the campaign, we also add them to our HubSpot account. And so for you to have all of the leads inside HubSpot, you want to do that at the very beginning. And then for the ClickUp section, because HubSpot takes any lead as long as they have a verified email, for the ClickUp section, we only want the leads who are in the positive interest categories. And so for us to add the leads to our ClickUp account, they have to be marked as one of these positive categories. And then inside the automation, I use this right here. And this, whenever a lead category is changed to something positive, we do that. And so that's basically the prerequisites to get this done. So when something is updated in Smart Lead, in this case, it's going to be, I'm gonna actually no, it's gonna be good. So I'm gonna rename this to when category is updated in Smart Lead. We search for the contact. And by the way, I'm gonna upload these automations directly on the website so that you can easily just copy and paste them. So when the category is updated in Smart Lead, we search for the contact in HubSpot, right? And in order for us to search for the contact, we simply need to put the query as an email. Does this? Yeah, this does not have any previous runs. So let's actually create a webhook for this. So we go to the webhooks page. we add a brand new webhook, and this webhook is going to be watch categories. Categories. And by the way, quick tip for you guys, you can actually just set up the webhooks at the beginning of your client onboarding process. And so what that looks like, I'll quickly show you just so that you know. So onboarding, right? Like the things that we're working on right now, it's like you want to have these things ready to go all the time so that you don't have to constantly think about them over and over and over and over, right? So this is the onboarding process. Whenever we onboard a brand new client, they go through this automation right here. And inside this section over here, by the way, the first thing we do, we add them to Smart Lead. So we add them to Smart Lead using this URL endpoint right here, and we add their name, all of that stuff, right? And then from there, we basically create a webhook. So what webhook 1, webhook 2, webhook 3. And this is what a webhook automation might look like, right? It's got the URL over here, and then we simply add the webhook directly to our Smart Lead account. And by the way, for those of you that are curious, I've released a video. It's like on my channel, Noel Maniraguham, Secret, right? It's called Secret API. So secret API, this right here. So the secret APIs that I use, if you watch that video, you can basically create any automation that you want. And so using this, we create the webhooks that are then added over here. But in this case, we're going to add them manually. And so the lead category is updated. So lead category is updated to honestly anything, right? So as long if the lead category is updated to any of these, like it's good. So lead category is updated, and now we want to create a two-way sync. And so from here, we're going to send a test webhook. It's going to come through on this over here. Use existing data. And then the next module is a search for CRM objects module, which is going to search for the contacts. And so from here, we're going to simply input the Smart Lead email. And so the email is going to be over here in the lead data. And then we want to output all of the properties for that specific person. And then we could probably just limit it to one person because we're not going to be getting multiple people. Once that happens, we basically want to update the update fields, right? So I'm going to call this update fields in HubSpot, right? So you update the field. So you put the contact ID, which comes from the very beginning. You put the client ID, which also comes over here. And then you put the campaign ID as well. And by the way, when we go to our HubSpot account, these are fields that you create inside your application. And so let me just pull it up over here. We go to the categories section. So we go to the you want to go to the properties section. Same process with with uh, with Salesforce or any tool, Airtable, etc. So you want to add the campaigns. So campaign, sorry, not the campaigns, the categories. Category, so lead category. And then you add those over here. And obviously you can do this manually. Like you don't actually need to like automate the process of creating these categories because it's not actually that complex to do. However, something like the campaigns, right? So the campaigns, for something like this, you might want to automate a way for you to add these campaigns here so that when we are doing this two-way sync, which is over here, so that when we're doing this two-way sync, we always have the campaigns available inside our HubSpot account. And by the way, let me show you how we add that. I'll do like a very quick, I'll go through that very quickly. So campaign, where is that? So the campaigns, it's add, delete something for the campaigns. Is it just campaign? So analytics, there it is. Okay, so this right here seems to have gotten an error, which whatever, doesn't matter. This right here is what I was talking about with regards to adding the um, fields inside HubSpot. And so this is going to use this URL endpoint right here to find the contact properties, iterate through those contact properties, aggregate through those contact properties, group them all together into one large text. Once that happens, we're going to filter that text and then set a variable with all of the old text along with the new text to then run this API call again so that we can add all of the campaign properties in our HubSpot account. And so that's how you would do it. Let's go back to the categories. So category, so lead category. And then from here, we want to complete this two-way sync. So I've just shown you, right? We've already got the clients, we've got the campaigns. Now we simply need to add the categories. And so we go to the category. So category, where is category? So lead category. And then from here, we just want to input the value of the category, right? So inside here, it's the lead category, new ID is going to be 1, right? And so this ID for the lead category is going to basically be coming from here. So the internal value. So we've got internal value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up until the end over here, which is amazing. So let's do a quick run to show you what this looks like in practice. We will pull up a different contact. So we will go with Noel at Ofanto. Actually, no. It's Anmani Raguha. Right, Anmani Raguha 507. And boom, we've got this lead over here. So we've got the campaigns, we've got the lead category. None of these have anything, right? As you can see, like empty, right? So we need to actually set these up with the correct information. So according to this automation, it's set up to a client, set up to all of these categories. Let's go ahead and add it. Let's go to the master inbox. Let's let's refresh the page, and then let's switch the lead category to wrong person, right? Let's switch it to wrong person. And then when we go over here, this should now be able to use existing data, use the webhook, and then something's wrong, but it doesn't matter. We'll fix that. We get the person over here with the lead category of number 7. All of it looks good over here. And then we use this over here to find the person, right? So the properties of the person. In fact, we should probably have this be like total number of bundles greater than. So we put a numeric operator greater than 0. So if we have more than 0 contacts, we can continue. And so what this misses is the client ID. So it misses the client ID because this is not assigned to a client, right? Right. So a lead category is always going to be here. A campaign is always going to be here, but a client may or may not be here. And so what we're going to do is, how is this looking, by the way? What happens if I just like this is interesting. Okay, so let's do an if statement and then we'll see if that works. So if, right? So if the client ID exists, we do that. If it doesn't, we do that. And then we add another one. So if client ID exists, we do this. If not, we do this. So let's save this and then let's run it. So use existing data. Boom. So it seems to go through, right? But it's like the collection is empty. So that's what's giving us an error. All of this will be updated on the website. Will you do more of these interactive? Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe next time it's like an hour and it's like a specific type of automation. Um, but 2 hours is a while. um, okay, so we go over here, and to answer your question, all of this is already on the website. So actually, not all of it is. But when you go to the website, inside the danger zone section, there's going to be a bunch of new automations. I'm gonna shoot for like 10 automations today. So after this live is done, I'm gonna spend like 3 or so hours creating a bunch more automations and then just releasing all of them here. So just find them over here. These ones are about to be done. So we're getting an error over here, letting us know that the resource is not found, and it's because um, the collection is coming up as empty. So that's interesting. And the way to solve this is to just map the entire property, right? It's just to map the entire property. So actually we go back here. So client, it's to map the entire, I should not have actually done it like that. So let's do it like this. Let's see if we can map the entire, oh, because not everything is gonna have clients, and not and having the client section over here. What if I do all fields? Okay, this is better. So don't do compact. Don't do compact. Just do it like this. Okay, so this is better. This is better. So we go campaign, because the way this is working is that if it's empty, then it's empty. If it's not, then it's not. So we go campaign, campaign ID, um, and then we do client ID. So the client work this, yeah, this one's gonna work because if it's empty, then it's empty. And then what was the last one that we were missing? So category. So category new ID, right? So let's find the category. Where's the category? So category, we map that, and then we get that there. Boom. Okay, so this looks good. Let's run it once again. Boom, let's do that. And property in campaigns. Why is the campaigns giving us an error? So campaigns. Oh, you know what that is? I know what it is. It's because this campaign over here has not already been added to our properties, because this campaign is literally just one that we created for testing. And so it's this untitled campaign. And that's why I was mentioning everything about having the SOPs come beforehand, so that all of these campaigns are already there. And so that's why we're not having this working. So what we need to actually do is literally just add that inside our HubSpot account. So HubSpot, we go inside the properties for the campaigns, and then we add we add it manually, but normally we would want to have it be automatic, right? But this one is one that, like, whenever I have untitled campaigns, I don't like to add them here, because the only reason they're untitled is because I'm testing with them or something of that nature. So we add an option. This one is going to be called untitled campaign, right? Untitled campaign. Boom, save that right there. And then from there, it should not work, right? Am I going to jinx myself again? Okay, so one missing, which is the campaigns right after I added it, which is hilarious. Let's what is going on here? So the input, what is the campaign over here? It's in the campaign ID. Right. This is what I just added, right? Um, yeah, it's like, all right, let's find right, it's right here, right? Isn't that the one that I just added? Yeah, that's the one that I just added. So what is the reason why this would not be working? Oh, am I an idiot or what? Oh my god. That's hilarious. Well, there you go. The reason it's not working is because the contact ID is all messed up. It should actually be the contact ID from here, from HubSpot. Not I bet the other way worked too. So the compact method, I bet that worked too. There you go, guys. There you go. I'm an idiot. I'm a dummy. But to be fair, these instructions are not very useful. Like, whoa, just tell me the person does not exist. Don't lie to me. So back to Noel. The campaign is nothing. The lead category is nothing. We refresh the page and then boom, it's good now. Boom, we've got the untitled campaign. We've got the wrong person lead category. And then, by the way, we go back over here to the master inbox and then we change the lead category to information request. And then we run this again. So, this is what should happen whenever you're actually like running these things in your workflows. The lead category is going to be changed from wrong person to information request. That is then going to be reflected inside your HubSpot account. And the cool thing about changing your categories to different tools like HubSpot, Airtable, ClickUp, etc., is that you can actually track the um, you can actually track the history of the category changes. And so whenever it changes from one category over to another, you can track that and then you can see like how long are people staying in not interested until they are disqualified, or how long are people going from meeting request into a booked meeting, or whatever, right? So you can actually do more comprehensive analytics within tools like HubSpot, ClickUp, Airtable, etc. So boom, we've got that first section done. This is good. I don't think there's anything else that we need to do. And so what we're going to do is we're going to download this. We're going to export the blueprint, and then boom, we're going to add that inside the document so you guys can just copy paste it. So new subpage. This is going to be HubSpot spot two-way sync. And then I'm going to upload the blueprint right here. So you guys could just copy it right then and there. So boom, HubSpot two-way sync right there. And I'm going to call this step one. So step one. And then we go to step two. And then inside step two, so this first step works. We're getting the categories from SmartLead to HubSpot. The next step over here is getting it from HubSpot to SmartLead. So boom, when category is updated in HubSpot, update category in SmartLead. Boom. And so now we basically need to go to the SmartLead API. So api.smartlead.ai. And then we need to look for the category. So category, update lead category based on the campaign. And that, by the way, is why you want to have the campaign data, because you're going to need to have the campaign in order for it to actually work. But honestly, there's a workaround that we can actually just work on as well. And we will work on it. So boom, we're here. So you plop that URL over here. And then when I run this module only, hold on a minute. We need to do a few things. So one, I need to force stop it. And then we are going to, yeah, make, okay, there you go. So it's got nothing. Wait, did it get anything? Yeah, it shouldn't. So we're going to remove the limit. Okay, fine. So contacts, we're going to watch for contacts that are updated. Oh wait, this is we get all of the properties and then it's updated. Okay, but like, is this the one that we need to be doing? Because we actually want to be watching the updated, right? Like this is the right idea, right? When a category is updated, but we want to search for property, not a contact. So I'm actually going to copy this, plop it right here, and then I'm going to delete it. And then we're going to look for a different one. So watch CRM object when it's created. Watch CRM. Yeah, it's got to be a property, right? It's got to be watch property, update a property, get a record property, update a custom object record. Watch deals, watch companies, watch engagements. Honestly, maybe if I just search watch, we'll get something, right? So watch contact added to a list, watch when a new contact is created, when a deal, watch company, watch engagement, watch notifications, watch file, object. Watch properties in make.com. Right? So inside here we should get some feedback, right? So watch CRM object result. Watch property. Okay, this one seems like it's titled correctly, so we should actually get something. So watch records. So here are a couple options. If you're able to use the send a webhook action in the HubSpot workflow, so that's not it. And by the way, like HubSpot does have automations, right? That you can actually leverage. Those automations would be found in the automation section over here, right? And those automations are going to have sequences and workflows that you can leverage. But the problem with these workflows is that it's expensive, right? And so if you're not on those plans, you need to find a workaround, and that's what we're doing here. So if you have HubSpot lists and workflows, but not send action in HubSpot, watch contacts added to a list, HubSpot trigger and make. If you don't have access to lists, you can create a contact property change subscription in a HubSpot developer portal using the webhooks. So this is probably what we'll have to do. And I know how to do this. I know how to do this. I just don't know how much information it shows that is safe to share to people. So let me show you like the basic framework, and then depending on how much it shows. So you basically need to create a developer account, right? So I've got a developer account here. I'm going to open it in a new tab that you guys are not able to see. And then in literally like 30 seconds, I'm just going to double check whether it shows anything that is sensitive. Um, So manage. Key auth. So it seems to be fine. So you basically want to create a HubSpot developer account, right? Once you go into the developer account, you want to click manage apps. And when you click manage apps, you can create a brand new app. And then this app would be called watch property changes, right? So property changes. And then you can add an image, whatever, if you want to. And then you would basically have to authorize it to work on your application. And so you need to add a redirect URL. By the way, we've only got 10 minutes left, so I don't think we're going to have time to go through all of this information. So what I'm going to do, when you go to afonto.com/automations, and you go to the HubSpot one, I'm going to have it properly set up, so that you can easily copy and paste it. So but that's it, right? That's all you would need to do. And obviously, if you're on the more expensive HubSpot plans, like you could just get it set up like easily, right? You don't even need to do anything else other than that. And then update category inside Smart Lead. Let's copy this URL because we actually want that. And then let's finalize that section at least, right? So the beginning of it is going to leverage the application. So this section over here, or a webhook from the HubSpot workflows, and then the ending of it is going to do this. So the campaign ID. All right, fine. Let's just do this, right? So watch CRM objects, because we just want the fields of the people. So contacts, we're gonna limit it to one person, and we're gonna find that same contact that we had previously worked on. So nmaniraguham@gmail.com. Boom. And then output properties, we're gonna output all of these, and then boom. And so now let us grab Noel. So boom, we've got all of Noel's information. That's great. And so now we just need to find the campaign ID. So do we have No, we need to rerun it again, right? And the reason we need to rerun it again is so that we can get all of the properties into play, right? Because right now, not all the properties are there. Well, they seem to be here. So the question is, am I missing something? No, we got it. It's right here. So campaigns. So, I mean, that worked. Oh, you know what? We're just gonna need to run it all the way so that at least the Smart Lead application can see it, right? So run once. Value must not be empty. Did I not just? Oh, shoot. Okay, so we're gonna add the HTTP. HTTP is so that at least there's something, right? .co. And then we run once. Choose where to start. All, because right now it's not outputting anything. So boom, it gives us an error, but at the very least, we're now able to see all of this information. So we copy the URL, so update lead category based on information. We go over here, go to the URL section, boom, we've got all of that now. And so we go to the campaign ID section. We now want to add the campaign. So campaign, boom. So this is the campaign's ID. Whoa. It's right here. So the campaigns, and then the leads, we want to add the lead ID. So all of this stuff, like we've already done, right? So we don't actually need to like do anything at this point. So you just want to make sure that like you've already got all of the prerequisites done. So ID, we're looking for the smart lead ID. Lead ID. What is the property called? Lead. Do I even have a smart lead ID module inside my HubSpot? Actually, you know what? All groups, we're going to go to the Afonto group because that's where I put all the fancy things. We've got Apollo, campaigns, contact type, image personalization, lead category. Huh. You're telling me I don't have? No, I should. Because over here I do a lookup and then I get the ID, right? And so we're able to get the smart lead ID. And then the question is, what do I put in? So I put in the email. I put in the email. And I just put in the campaign ID. Okay, so I don't have a lead ID. And to be honest, it doesn't actually matter. The reason it doesn't matter is because the reason you would want to have a lead ID is to just simplify the automation. But if it's a smart lead ID and that's all you like, sometimes it's just easier to not have it in there. So what we would actually be doing is we would be using this API endpoint over here called email. So fetch lead by email. So fetch lead by email address. And then from the fetch lead by email address, we're going to be able to grab this URL endpoint over here. And using this URL endpoint, we're then able to find the lead inside Smart Lead. And so once we find the lead inside Smart Lead, regardless of what type of data we have beforehand, it does not matter. We can now get the key information that we need. So we're gonna plop that in there and parse response, body type, raw. Actually, we don't even need to do any of that stuff. We just need to put the email address, right? So the email is going to be email. That's who we're using. Boom. And that's going to be inputted over here. And I'll do it like this just for now. You don't need a data store. So this data store, you don't need this. The reason I use a data store is to easily hide my API keys from people that are watching, but you do not need a data store. You would just input the API key directly in here. So boom, run this module only. And then from here, I'm going to plop in my API key, right? As you can see, like my API key is shortened for people to not see everything. Okay, so boom, we've got that there. And now we can call this get lead from smart lead. Boom. And then let's run it all. So we run it all again. And now we should have the campaign that this lead is in. So lead campaign data, we've got the campaign ID that we can just use. We've got the API key that we can use. We've got the lead ID that we can also use. So the lead ID is right here. And then boom, parse response. It's looking great. It's looking great. And now we can say update category in smart lead, right? And then, yeah, we'll leave it as that. So now what that means is that that's not it, right? So this needs to be a post. So the category needs to be a post, needs to be raw application JSON. And then we actually need request content for this. And so the request content is going to be category, fetch lead, update lead category. We don't need to pause anything because all we're doing is literally just changing the category ID. So we can simply remove that section of the automation, simply paste the request content. So category ID, boom, pause lead section, we remove that, and then input the category. And so the category that we're going to be switching this to is going to come from HubSpot, which is going to be category, so lead category. That is what we're going to need. So we would plop that in there and then boom. So now, finally, what does this all mean after all it's said and done? So what this means is that when a category is updated from, where did my dude go? Just went away. Okay, we don't need all of these. So let's go back to Anmani Raguham. Boom. So what that means is that when a lead category is updated inside Smart Lead, we also update that here. We also add the campaign. We add the lead category as well over here, and vice versa, right? And so now we're going to update the lead category from information request to out of office because for whatever reason, we're speaking to them inside HubSpot, and that happens to be the case. And so once that happens, we're going to then have that automation kick off a new thing. So when it kicks off, it goes into our Smart Lead, gets that, updates the category, and if we go back here, the lead category is currently information request. But if we refresh the page, now the lead category is going to be information request, which is wrong. So let's figure out what happened, what went wrong. So it seems to have worked. It seems to have worked. And so the question is, considering that it worked, we found the lead. What was the request content actually? So we gave it category 6, right? And then the master inbox. What is category 6? Category 6 is information request, no? Let's go inside the properties. Let's go into the categories. Category. Category 6 is out of office. So that's correct. It should be out of office. Therefore, what went wrong? So if category 6 is out of office and we switched it to category 6, what went wrong? So get lead from Smart Lead, update here. Okay, let's see here. Oh, you know what it might be? Wait, no, it's probably not that, but it might be that. I'm wondering if it's maybe a patch method as opposed to a post. Where would that be anyways? Oh no, it's a post. And it seems to have gone through correctly, which is what's confusing me. The other question is this the same lead that we're looking at over here? Oh, okay, I see what's happening. It did work. It did. The reason why the reason why it's weird and stuff is because this person seems to be in a bunch of different campaigns, and so it actually updated them in one campaign when they are probably in different campaigns. Therefore, if we were to search up the lead, Smart Lead can load. Okay. So this lead is inside this one campaign over here. But according to what this is saying is that they're in 4 campaigns. So they're associated in 4 different campaigns. Um, and so it's like, okay, so inside this one over here, they are marked as, okay. So Team Epic marked as out of office. So as you can see, like it actually did work, but it worked for one of the categories, which was Team Epic. And we wanted it to actually go to this one over here. So the way that you would fix that is by making sure is actually you can use the lead ID from the bottom over here, but the category, the campaign that you would be using would come from HubSpot. So the campaign would come from HubSpot because that campaign is going to be reflective of the latest campaign all the time. So we would actually just do it like that. That being said, there's many ways that you can think through these things. This is just the basic way that you can get started. And so if we were to save this, boom, run it once, we get this lead over here, and then the data invalid. Oh, okay, there you go. So I'm gonna switch my API key over here. Right? And then once I save that, we're going to change the lead category. So this time around, we're going to be updating this person over here from information request, and we're going to switch the category of them to meeting request. No, not meeting request. Out of office. Let's do not interested. And by the way, why I'm hesitating on putting it in like a positive category is because despite the fact that it works and it updates and it does all the things, it's there's we actually need a third step to this automation, and the third step to this automation would prevent double runs. And so what happens as a double run is we update the HubSpot thing, it comes in here, updates the category for us from information request to it's actually in the untitled section over here, to not interested. But for example, if it was updated to meeting request, information request, or anything of that other nature, that would then trigger a smart lead webhook, and the smart lead webhook would say, okay, run this now. Like it would just run another time. And so you actually need a third step, which prevents the smart lead thing from doing a 360 loop, because smart lead runs, triggers HubSpot to run, HubSpot runs, triggers smart lead to run, so on and so forth, back and forth, until it's an infinite loop of running back and forth with these webhooks. And you wake up the next day and you're like, whoa, I spent 1,000 credits on this. So yeah, there's a third step over there, but we're not going to have enough time to cover it. So those are the first 2 steps. Keep that in mind. I'm going to be releasing all of these automations in the danger zone section. So if you want to automate any of these, implement them into your workflows, simply navigate over to afonto.com/automations, copy them, leverage them, and work less hours. Anyways, thank you guys for taking the time to join, and I wish you all a good rest of your day. Cheers.